Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are around the world. We have a great variety of people here that are joining us. Bakshi from Bangladesh and MC from Texas. Great to see you guys. I know you guys are here bright and early, pretty much every time. Really appreciate you. We have Bruce here from Florida. Great to see you, Bruce. Guylaine Dupont de Quebec. Bienvenue, Guylaine. Great to see you here. We have Chris from Greece. Nice. That's such a beautiful country. Let's see here. We have Reg, great to see you from Ghana. We have Celine from Ghana. We have Montshibo, great to see you from South Africa. Great to see you here. Wonderful. We have Urban Soder from Sweden. Welcome, welcome. We have Benjamin. We have Joe here from Sarasota, Florida. We have Sylvie de Quebec. Let's see here. We have Yusuf from Jackson, Mississippi, I guess. And, as a Canadian, sometime I have to refresh my memory on abbreviation for your states. Okay, Courtney, great to see you from Toronto. Great to see you here, bud. Let's see. We have Ezra from Ghana. With Enyonam, great to see you from Accra, Ghana. We have Maflo from Montreal. Bienvenue, bienvenue. You probably speak English too. Let's see here. We have Edward from Takoradi, Ghana. We've been there a few times.
Oh,
huh?
yeah. Takoradi,
We have Mark here. Great to see you here. We have Victor. We have Jacob. Jenge from Ghana. We have John from Austin, Texas. And Jacob, welcome, welcome, everybody. Folks, last week, Tammy and I did a training on the 7 steps.
7 days.
7 days
to momentum.
to momentum.
Mhm.
Now what we're doing here is we're going to do the follow-up. And here's a message I want to share with you here. The training of last week and this training that we're doing here today are very important training that you can actually utilize every time you sign someone up that says, what do I need to do to get started? How do I get into momentum? What's the fastest way for me to make money? These 2 trainings are giving people guidelines on exactly what they need to do. It's very, very possible that a lot of folks didn't really do anything this past week, and that's totally okay. The reason why we love these calls, the fact that these calls are recorded, is you can use that for yourself on a later date. You just go through the process. And instead of doing, a month, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, which is a little bit time consuming and a little intense, we decided to create small segments of 1 week. So the first week is for you to initiate your business. And then the following week is to follow. What do you do after the first 7 days? Okay. And if you didn't do anything, don't beat yourself up on that. It's totally, totally okay. The fact here is the key to success in our business is to always keep the foot in a gas pedal. That's the key. Always move forward. Thoughts before we begin?
Yeah. And the key is when you have a campaign or a contest, which is super exciting with the 5-day branded site. Um, Man, you got to be running with this. Chris is always so kind. It's okay, it's okay. No, you got to move. You got to move. And this tough love, right?
We're playing the
It's
good
it's
cop,
a
bad cop.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's the key. Joel is creating so many amazing campaigns, and he gives so much value for all of us to grow, especially in the online world with a branded page. This is absolutely massive. If I were you, I'd be kicking my butt and running. Actually, we're doing that. So it's key, right? It's key. You're not always in momentum. You're not always running, but there's times that you just need to run. You got to kick your butt and run. And this is the time.
Mhm.
We have till the 13th of September. Kids are back in school. Things are getting more structured and organized for those of you who have kids at home. And it's to create that um, teamwork with your family. I think a lot of people don't do that. You
Mhm.
got to sit down with your family and say, hey guys, I need to focus. So we need to delegate some tasks here because I have till the 13th to get my 5, and I need you guys to cheer me on. And that's what you need to have, these conversations with your family. We're fortunate because
Well, our
we
kids are
don't have
grown
kids
up,
at home. We're
but
actually
they're
at my
grown up,
daughter's
right?
house
They're all
right
in their
now.
mid-20s and
Yeah,
everything else. But we were in that stage where we
exactly. In
had
the
young children and
past.
we had to kind of work
Hmm.
around that in the early stage of building our business. Absolutely correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So today's session is really on the follow up. So if you really haven't put any efforts or done much, I would go back to last week's training and watch it again and kick your butt into gear. And then this week's training is part of the process. I mean, we're always following up, follow through. Before Chris does this, I just wanted to share something really interesting with you because there was a chart that we had in one of our PowerPoint trainings on follow up. Chris is good. Maybe Chris showed them where they
Yeah.
have
So what's
access.
going on the playlist here? You'll notice that we have the God Backup team training sessions. If you go to the full playlist, everything we've ever done is here. So when people are saying, "Is this call recorded? Is this call?" Yes, every single call that we stream through StreamYard on the YouTube channel is always recorded. It's basically the default. And we did this training over here, 7 days to momentum, win your free $1,000 website. And the reason we say that is we know how much it costs to create a branded website because we've paid for them. And trust me, folks, this is actually even a good price. But the point is you get that the moment you sponsor 5 people in your business. Okay. So that is the promotion that Joel has offered. And the fact is when you get 5 people into your business, that's when you get into the stage of moving up to the goal if you meet the other requirements, which I'm not going to go right now today. It's
Yeah.
not about that. But we do have trainings on these. And I really recommend that you keep track of this. And again, maybe create an email. In God Backup, and you go back to our email marketing system. We talk about this. The very first email people receive as you welcome them, it says, "Here are 2 great videos for you to watch to get you started." And you can take these links, which are available here. If you click those 3 dots, you can actually click the share button and you can copy this link, right? I'm going to put it right here for your benefit. I'm put it right on the chat. I don't have my mouse. I'm using my trackpad. I'm not the best at it. Here we go.
Yeah, we're
Paste.
we're here in Ottawa, Canada. For people who are in this area, we actually have a friend who passed away, who's also been business partners with us for so many years. So we're here for a funeral this afternoon, and we're staying at my daughter's house. That's why you see a
When you see this
difference in the
background,
background.
that's Tammy's daughter's.
You're we're at my
When you see
daughter's
a
house.
background that's completely white, that's at my mom's basement. So anyway, back to the point here is these are these trainings, and you can copy just as I did here the last week's training in the comment section. keep track, because what we're going to be sharing with you now has a lot to do with what I'm sharing with you here right now. The key is you always want to expose your prospect to more information based on level of interest, and this is what we want to give you the guidelines on when to do that and how to do that and everything else. The reason why Tammy and I have made a living in this business, folks, is because we apply what we teach. And some of you are saying, well, you have a Telegram group, you don't do this all the time. It's very possible that at the level we're at right now, I'm not as intense as I used to be. But I'm telling you, what we're telling you is exactly what you need to do to succeed. There's no such thing as buying leads and having people signing up and create a fortune just by sitting back and watching things going. You need to interact with people. And that's what we want to talk to you about. It's so important. Did you want to finish something,
whether it's email
Tammy?
marketing, whether it's social media, whether it's in person, belly to belly, however way you network and follow up, it's a process, and you have to understand that. And you got to discipline your disappointments along the way, because you're going to have disappointments, especially when there's contests happening, because you got to get your 5, right? And then you're going to talk to people and the timing's not working for them. Like we'll talk about this in the training, but you got to really discipline those disappointments. And
you want to share something?
Yeah, the one thing that I wanted to share, and I got it on my phone, so I'm going to look down a bit because it's in our PowerPoint on the trainings that Chris is sharing with you. If you go to the follow-up trainings with Got Backup, you're going to see it. But it says 80% of the sales, and this is for salespeople, but it really applies for our industry as well. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups. 5. Okay. And after the initial contact, but 44%, they give up after 1 follow-up. Imagine all the business that's lost because people don't follow up. Maybe that fear of rejection is such a big one, right?
Tammy, so just before you go there, here's the thing, folks. That's the follow-up training that Tammy's talking about.
Yeah.
And here's the point I don't want to bring up very quickly, okay? 1.2, so 1,200 people saw the prospecting mastery. 859 people saw the inviting. Do you know where the money is?
In the follow-up.
Here. And look at this number. This is a strong, real indication of real life facts.
Yeah.
323 views. That number should be massive.
Yeah.
That's where the money is. So we're telling you, the money is in the follow-up. And that's where most people fall short. Mm-hmm. They don't follow through on the follow-up, or they just don't follow up. So back to you.
Yeah. So 44% they stop following up, as I mentioned, after a rejection, or maybe they didn't respond or whatever, and people just give up, right? 22% stop after 2, 14% stop after 3, 12% stop after 4, and 8% do follow-ups after 5 times. 8%. I mean, that should be a huge indication of why people don't get the results that they're looking for
exactly
in our profession or in the sales industry.
And if you look here, the third-party credibility, that is a form of follow-up. It's even smaller. You know that the fortune that Tammy have made in his business is due to third-party credibility.
Yeah.
I've opened countries with third-party credibility.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't do these things and these steps, the follow-up and that third-party credibility, which is another form of following up, there's no way we would have the results that we're showing right now in our business. For those of you that know Tammy and I, you know our lifestyle, you know what's going on. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter who's trying to recruit our team members. It doesn't matter, because what's happening is we have a system in place. We have a relationship with these people. And the bottom line here, folks, is a lot of that has to do with the follow-up and the third-party credibility and the relationship process that's taking place. So many people in this business, unfortunately, they don't spend, where's my mouse? They don't spend 2 minutes in building the relationship. All they think about is me, money. And they don't build the relationship with the person. Okay. And that's why so many people fail in our business. They build this business in a very selfish way, all about me. And it's okay to be money aware. But what's also important is that the people around you feel that you have their back. And that relationship is what will create solidity, concrete, which regardless of whatever flaker comes in around to try to recruit your people into whatever deal they're into. That's life. And that's the reason why we build a solid organization. So let's get into this training and walk you through the process of what we're talking about here. So let's remove this one and add this one here. Here we go. Okay. So right now we're going into the training process, 7 days to momentum follow-up process. Remember, 90%, I would say 95% of your results comes into the follow-up process. And as you saw the number earlier, this doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. There is not enough of you that are following up. And that's the reason why you're not getting the results you're looking for. And people always start new deals thinking that's going to be all better. And because I spend more money for this deal, whatever the situation may be for you. But the problem is you bring the same luggage, the same things that are repeated over and over that get you why you're not getting the results you're looking for.
So true.
So the training we're giving you now is the basic principle to have success in our business. And that's the difference between the folks that are doing well and the ones that are constantly chasing the money with whatever deal is presented at that particular month or year. So 7 days to momentum follow-up process. So let's start with the very first slide, which is kind of what we talked about.
Yeah, so it's all about the follow-up, follow-through. So day 1, day 2 to day 2, the initial connection, we talked about that last week already. So if you didn't get last week's session, please watch it so you can see the follow-through with all of this. So you want to reconnect with the people that you might have already connected to. You might have already sent a link, or maybe you just said hello and just reconnected and not even talk about business yet. But you want to thank people. Always recognize them. People's favorite subject is themselves, and people like to be appreciated. So, when you're constantly kind and following up and, you're so happy that you've connected with them, just send nice messages, make it authentic and not just to try and sell somebody on something. At the end of the day, we want to bring value, and people, if they're interested, they want to buy, right? People want to buy all the time. So if you bring value to people, you want to share value constantly. The stories are so big. Maybe you haven't sent them the link yet. Maybe that's the next step. So it's always, what's the next step from the initial process? Create curiosity. We say curiosity posts. Maybe this is the social media aspect where you're connecting with them. And you want to keep everything light. Don't send huge, long messages full of details and facts. People won't look at them. We're in an era where attention span is like seconds. Seriously, seconds. And if you can't make an impact initially, then you're going to lose people. So you want to focus on them, focus on rapport. Okay. And the goal is always to build on value, build on curiosity. Yeah.
I totally agree. And read some of the comments, and I picked some of those comments because you're really on target here, right? Dorothy had a great comment earlier. There was also Bijou who had a wonderful comment also. Dr. Kerway posted a really good comment here. Read some of those comments here, folks, because here's what you will find. It just happens that these people are very successful in God Backup.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, understand that many of you are buying leads and you have all these people and nobody responds to you. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the content you provide may have no value to that person. So what you need to do is, as you start sending emails, test vary. Send a few things. Maybe send a video of you with your kids playing on the pool or the beach. Or I'm just giving you an example here. It might be something completely different. Many of you are so creative. Just
It's
share
lifestyle freedom.
share something about you. It does not have to be super personal. Again, what it is you want to share content. Why is it that Facebook became so big? Why is it that TikTok is so massive, or Instagram? It's because it's all about personal shares. People share their
Connections.
things and the connections that are occurring. That's what it's all about. So these are strong indicators. So initial connection is important. And if nobody responds to you, then don't send the same stuff over and over and over. Now, I'm guilty of that too. But the fact is, I'm a person of habit. I'm just like I will continue sharing the same information. And if people recognize me by this, is, well, the guy's consistent. He's always doing the same thing. And I'm doing this because I'm big on duplication. But if you want results, also you want to vary and send different things to your prospect, and we'll go through all of
I
this.
just want to add one more as we're talking, because one of the things that I do is I like to send voice messages over text. And so many people will send me a voicemail back and go, "Oh my gosh, you're so passionate about this project." So that is a big selling point as well. When you're passionate about something, and people will read whether you're genuinely passionate over something or you're just trying to sell them something. People read body language extremely well. So that's a really good one as well.
Now, Danielle, I really appreciate you sharing this, that you hit your bronze level. Hey, folks, if any one of you ranked recently to whatever level that you have, share it here in the comment, right? Just share your successes. And that's what this business is all about. So we talked about step one is the connection, making a connection, create content of value. And you know, the good thing is Joel has so much information in the back office of your God Backup virtual office. There's so much content there, and there's so many wonderful options that you can pick from, especially from your funnels and everything else. And folks, stay tuned, because Joel is about to announce something massive, massive, that those of you that are looking to increase your income, this is going to do just that very significantly. So just stay tuned.
Go
for
get
this.
your 5, because you need to
Get your
create
5
you
people,
need to create
right?
this momentum.
Okay, so step number 2. Okay, so that's kind of day 3 and 4. And again, folks, remember that in reality, things may vary a little bit. We're just giving you guidelines here. Okay, so one of this is search out with simple invites. Very simple invite. So you made a connection with someone, and once you made a connection, you share something personal. The next step from there is invite them to a Wednesday night presentation or a Friday morning presentation or any other presentation. I don't have the list here, but there's many of the leaders that are here right now that are hosting wonderful webinars, wonderful sessions. Attend those. And one thing I recommend, folks, is when you reach a certain rank, share with the world that you've reached that rank.
Yeah.
Let's all do that. Number 2 is share a link video that build curiosity. For example, in your back office, you have people, many people on your team, even if you don't know them. There's some of you have, because it's part of the binary, you can see everybody underneath you that have ranked up. Shares one of their promotional video that came up, say, hey, 5 people just promoted to copper or to bronze.
Powerful.
Right. These are things that you can share. It may not be a video, but it's a poster that you can share. It could be a video about a training about something that meant something to you. There's so many things. Just share a video in the email or in a group. You can create also a WhatsApp group, a Facebook Messenger group of all your prospects. Now, just be careful. Just make sure that they're aware that you're part of this group. And don't just kind of put 20, 30, 100 people and see what sticks. That kind of is called spamming. And honestly, people frown on that. Yeah. And you're not going to build a relationship. You'll do the exact opposite. You'll frustrate people. I've never asked to be part of this group. Why am I here? Why am I receiving all of this? I got all these phone notifications. What is that? This is not a good way to if you're the type of person, well, let's send 1,000 email and let's see what sticks. I get it, that if that's your strategy, that's what it is. What Tammy and I are talking about is how do you make a fortune in this kind of business. And this is not about reaching the masses, but it's by making a connection with a selected few. Okay, so share a video that shares some curiosity. Ask about oh, that's another thing. What did you like best? Okay, and the fact is, or this one, it says, would you like me to tag you into a quick video? Okay, you can certainly ask them that. So you can turn around and something you saw, something, share a story in your team, and on a Facebook page, they might have to share something maybe in a God Backup group, and then from there you may want to tag them on something that's going on. There's so many situations that may occur. It may not always be business. It could be something personal. All right. The goal is you want to move them from curiosity to exposure.
Yeah.
So as you build a relationship, don't just spend all your time building relationship. You won't make any money. But the relationship is important to initiate a foundation of trust. From that point on, that's when you can start moving forward. And even if they're not interested, you don't toss them in the garbage. You put them into a list that you accumulate over time that maybe something else might pique their curiosity or might interest them, if that makes sense to all of you. Anything you want to add to that?
You covered that really well.
Okay, so let's move on to the next step. So day 3.
All right. And so in the follow-up, once they have a look at the information, you want to make sure that you're asking questions, because the questions is going to open them up to sharing with you where they're at in their evaluation. So what did you like best? That's always the one that we use in general. What did you like best about what you saw? Because you don't ask people what they think, because they can go on in different tangents. You want to keep them in the positive of what did they like best? Like, what was it that interested you the most? And then you get them to open up in conversation. Okay. And keep the questions, keep it going too. Like, they may be very vague in their answer. And then you may turn around and go, well, tell me more about that. And then you're deepening the conversation. And write that down, you guys, because that is how I've always opened people up to really express how they feel about whatever situation. And the more you open them up, they really get a sense of your genuinity. Okay. And they know that you really care and you really want to help. Because at the end of the day, we want to help people, right? It's about helping people improve their situation, helping people, with the challenges that they're having with their devices. Maybe their computers are full and they just don't know what to do, right? So you got to find ways to open people up for them to trust you. And then you expand on the value of what this is that could really help them. And I would even go further, you guys. I would hop on a Zoom with them and I would show them what I've done. That's my story, right? Of what I've done, and showed them the organization, my folders, how I was able to get rid of Dropbox and save the money that I've saved from Dropbox, Google Drive, like all that stuff. I had stuff all over the place. So I was able to show them this and they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, and understanding the value of how much storage you have. And yeah, so all of that is going to continue creating that curiosity, that interest, and that's the whole thing. And then the goal is to find out where they're at. Okay, so either it's a yes, I'm ready to get started, either it's a no, this is not for me, and that's okay, you guys. You got to let go of the attachment. Okay, if it's not now, you put them on a list. But if it's an absolute no, it's not for them, let go. Go get new people. Right? You can't get emotionally attached to somebody who's not interested at all.
I just want to add something, Tammy, to this. Is Nam talked about what you can ask face to face, don't ask online. One of the reasons why I have a booking link that will create a Zoom connection, right? A Zoom appointment with a prospect is because obviously we can't meet people face to face. it's not realistic because a lot of these prospects are in different countries and different time zones. And so the world is different. We're a lot closer because of the technology that's available to us. So what I do is I like to meet with someone online. For example, someone just signed up recently in our God Backup team. Never met him, don't know him. We just connected online. And I made a connection through WhatsApp so we can explain and build a bit more rapport together. Maybe he's here today. I don't want to mention his name out of privacy here, but the point here is right away, I asked him, would you be open to connect on a Zoom session so we can get to know each other? I'd like to give you a bit of an orientation on how I do things to begin. And he went, and I sent him my link, and he booked an appointment, and it creates a Zoom link, and then we connected. And now the relationship went to another level.
Yes, right.
It's solidifying. Okay. That's the reason why the most likely we'll have a great relationship for the long term. And if something goes wrong, he's not just going to quit because there's nobody to talk to. There's someone he can talk to. So this is what I'm talking about. That's how you create, good retention. So people stick around because they feel that there's someone to talk to. There's someone that can help them. Someone, like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, he has my back.
Exactly.
And this is how you grow an organization that will eventually expand. It's not just about let's sponsor as many as we can. Let's see who sticks. No. And I know that a lot of people do that. I'm not saying that it's wrong if that's your strategy, but just keep in mind what is your long-term goal. Our long-term goal is we love the residual. The great thing we got backup is you get fast cash when someone signs up on the spot. They give you 50% when someone comes in for the yearly package. This is really, really generous, by the way, right? But the big money is on the back end.
Where you're helping others earn.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it's compounding.
Yes.
And the new people that are coming in will give you a faster commission. We call it what do we call it in God Backup? You get a faster commission. It's just
the CAB, the customer acquisition.
The cab.
Yeah.
So right, you get
Saturday morning.
Yeah,
he needs a coffee.
So you get that commission right away, which is awesome. But it's the compound interest of the residual of the cycles and all the bonus that comes into it that will really make an impact. That will be able to help you live the lifestyle you want. Okay, so anyway, back to you. I kind of stepped in. Were you finished with this the steps here?
No, what's important is to know what people's goals are. You got to know where people want, where they're going, and again, it's all about opening people up to share their feelings. They could be in a situation right now that you're not even aware of, and if all you're doing is trying to sell somebody on something, for me it's so tacky. It's not an approach that is professional. A professional person is going to get to know somebody. They're going to find out where they're at in their life, and they're even going to in their head say, is this something that would even be a fit for them, right? So you get to know this by having conversations and really getting to know people and where they're at.
I'd like to address this question over here. Is in God Backup, there is no way that I have seen to communicate one-on-one. So in other words, how do you communicate one-on-one? If I get this right,
okay.
How do we do about
building
this?
Online, yeah. And if you're building through lists, you can do this through your email marketing system in the relationship building. And
but I do have an idea that I want to share once you're done.
Okay, and what I do is I give them my booking link, and I said, let's have a conversation so I can help you wherever they're at, or maybe to understand more of what you're looking for. I do this through my email marketing as well.
Yeah. What's happening is very often you may have a list of people that are on your line of prospect. And again, Bruce, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but I'm just giving you some ideas here. One thing is you can use a free booking system through Calendly, like a Google Calendar, right? If you don't know how to set that up, go to YouTube. How do I set a booking calendar with Google? Okay. And then you'll have a 12-year-old, 50-year-old, a 20-year-old, whatever, and see how many views they have and how old the video is, because remember, technology changes every month. So, and then watch how it's being done. Okay. I personally use a system that is a bit more sophisticated. It costs me about $15 a month. I say US because I'm Canadian, $15 a month. And the fact here is I've been using that for years. It's a very, very sophisticated with my calendar and everything else, but you can do that for free through Google. But what's happening here is it's connected to my Zoom account. And what I do, now the system is in place now. I send an email, which I did recently, and I said, any one of you that are interested to connect with me personally to get more information or whatever the situation may be in your circumstance, I'd love to connect with you. Please just click the link and we'll have a chat. The reality, folks, is don't worry about everybody booking. In fact, that would be a beautiful scenario if that would happen to you. But most people don't.
No, they prefer that connection.
No, but it's not just that. Most people don't take action.
Yeah,
this is a bit of a challenge in our society today. Most people do not take action.
Yeah.
So I can send a list of 10,000 emails, and it'll be about 10 that might respond, and maybe one or two will book an appointment. But this is something you can do, is give people an opportunity. Now, if you're dealing with a group of people that you're working with, just maybe send an email to say, I created a group on Facebook Messenger and love to connect with you. Or I have a YouTube channel and I have all my recordings in there and all my trainings. And again, I'm just using different scenarios here. Just hit the like, just subscribe to my channel. And that way you can hear everything I have to share. So there's many ways to connect with people without necessarily doing one-on-one with today's social media tools that are available. Yeah. So just thought of mentioning that.
Yeah. And some markets, because we've traveled a lot globally, and some markets prefer that belly to belly meeting up, having a coffee. In the North American market, it's a little bit different. And I mean, people still like to go out and meet up. I do. I'm a people person. I like to go meet up, but some people just prefer to do it online. So whatever works for you is what's important is you're meeting people and that you're following up with people, because a follow-up process can be done after, right? So you can do that online after. You can do it on a quick phone call after.
Yeah.
So
when you're dealing with a big audience, simply communicate with them a way for them to connect with you. And these are the people you focus your attention on. That's how that works. Now, were you done with the slide, step 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to step number 4. So now that you've built a relationship and you're building the interest, and the key is that you want to invite them to the presentations or live presentation, or again, folks, all the live presentations are recorded. So you don't have to wait a week to get this person. You can pick one that you like, right? Sometimes there's presentations that are being conducted and Tammy and I are really, on, and sometimes we're not as on, and it might be others presentations that are out there, and use one of those. And keep it on file so you can use it regularly whenever someone is ready to get to the next step. And now we're getting into the point where, okay, step number 4, day 7, decision sorting. If someone is ready to start, what I found often, especially people that are not really experienced in this kind of business, they tend to talk their prospect out of
a decision,
because they're just, oh, you got to know this. Oh, you're aware of
too
that.
much.
They're ready to sign up now. Hit the iron while it's hot. Don't wait till it cools down, to hit it, because it's hard again. You're not going to be able to mold it in the way you want, if you understand my analogy here. So if someone's ready to sign them up now. Put them in a system, place them in your tree, wherever you want to place them. Then let's talk about the next stuff, the next things, because some of you are seeing all these wonderful features and you want to talk about all of that. But again, sometimes people, oh, that's overwhelming. I can't handle all of that. And then you'll talk them out of the business. So keep that in mind. They're ready to start, sign them up now. Then give them a moment to figure things out.
They receive their emails to get them set up, get them started right. Most people do trainings before they even get them in.
We used to have a friend that.
Yeah, and we started like that too, right? So it's normal, just so you know.
Because we want to help.
Yeah,
I get it.
Exactly. I just want to let you. I laugh because we've done that. That's why I laugh. And it just brings back the points where we struggled when we were new until we learned. We took courses and we paid big money. Chris and I paid big money to take courses to do this and travel to take these courses. Now everything's online, everything is simple. You've got incredible leaders with incredible skills in Got Back Up that is literally sharing this in their team platforms, are literally sharing this here on this platform today. It's all experiences
Yeah.
that we've had
So
that we're able to share with you. Get them when they say yes, zip it.
get them in.
Zip
So
it.
the
Put a
placement,
tape, invisible tape
Yeah.
on your mouth, and get their information. Get them to sign up.
yeah. Now placement is very, very important. That's why I brought this up here. And I'm just brought that in. It's very, very important, folks. And the reason I'm saying this is there's people that they don't really understand the comp plan, and they try to fill every holes they see. Okay. This is not how you place people in your tree. You put them either on the bottom right or bottom left, unless you have experience, you have a strategy.
Yeah.
Maybe you're building someone up that's actually doing something, and there's a reasoning for you to place that person on an inside leg. Okay. But generally, folks, you always put on the bottom left, bottom right. Why is that? Because you want to create momentum with this entire line that you've created from the moment you started, and keep adding and adding and adding. And then you can call all these people. Hey, by the way, there is 10 people that ended up in your business since you started. Now, that may not happen to all of you, but some of you, it's happening.
It could be hundreds.
And you can
yeah.
leverage, and that's my point here. You can leverage that to create some excitement. Say, hey, you know what? If you need some help to build your other side, I can certainly help you with that. So this is a really good way to also help someone get started. There's nothing more stimulating to see people underneath you that are starting to grow the business. Now, if they say no, not now, don't get discouraged. Oh, he's not interested, and then toss them in the garbage. Add them on a list that you will always build up. That list compounds over time. Maybe this time it was not the right time. The information was not it was not at the level of interest at the moment, but then suddenly came up, a promotion came up. There's something that really cool that's coming up with that Joel's putting together that's going to help people make a whole lot of money. And the fact is, again, you can choose to be part of this or not. The fact here is, add them on the list. Don't toss them. I'm telling you, because this is worth. In fact, company spends millions and millions and millions of dollars to have your name on the list somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So if Facebook
because it has to be their timing, not yours.
It's a Facebook
right?
is a $100 billion corporation.
Yeah.
Because they make money out of your names, out of your emails, out of your contacts. You understand when this is how powerful that is. So don't toss this away. Thank them and simply ask them a referral. Do you know anyone that would love to save some money in backing up their devices, or that would like to earn money from something that everybody? Someone may not be interested, but they might know someone that are looking to make some money that's been having issues. And if you've been professional and polite with that person, the chances are they're going to give you a contact.
Yeah.
Okay. So be very careful that they don't feel that you're, what's the word I'm looking for?
Disappointed. You don't want people to see that you're disappointed in them. It's such an uncomfortable or awkward situation for both. When that happens, just have a normal conversation after, because that no, believe it or not, means not now. Believe it or not.
Yes.
Because you can connect with that person down the road, see how things are going, or maybe you're following them on social media and one of their family members got married, and you can give a message and say something about the pictures, and you can continue building that relationship, so they don't feel like the only reason you're talking to them is because you want them in your business. And situations happen for people where maybe the timing is now. You never know, right? So you just, and they'll say, how many times have people said to Chris and I, oh, are you still doing that thing? And we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, we're super excited about it. Here's what's happened since we spoke. And they may trigger again to go, you know what, send me the link again. You just don't know, you guys. You got to be constantly in that.
So the goal, folks, you don't want to leave anybody behind. Don't leave anybody behind. Just because they're not interested doesn't mean that they're no good. Trust me. Accumulate that list and build a list, because that list will become your lifeline over time.
Of course.
Okay. Very important. Now, in moving forward here, the step number 5 is accountability. I get it's your turn. You go
Oh
ahead.
yeah. Accountability is everything. It's hard to be accountable to yourself. It's always good to have a partner that's going to kick your butt, and of course with your permission for sure. And yeah, and to set them on the right track, have know what their goal is, and move them forward, being connected with them regularly, and help them over the hurdles, because they're going to have hurdles. It's part of the process. People are going to hit the wall a few times. I know I hit the wall many times, and it's frustrating, and you just want to do nothing. And no, you need that person to say, hey, no worries, that happened to me too, and here's what's happening now, and get them moving again. You want to constantly keep people moving. So accountability is important. Tracking is very important, to track your stuff. Yeah, always have your list of the names of people you're connecting to. However way you create your list is important to you. You need the dates of when you initially connected, the exposures and the dates and the follow-up result. And the more organized you are, the easier this business becomes, because the process of the follow-up is simple. Now, we're kind of talking old school network marketing, but when you look at Got Backup in our email marketing list, it's so easy. You just pick the campaign, pick the campaigns of the people, and you create a whole follow-up system, and you can add to that to keep the relationships going. So there's your list right there, right? So yeah.
You know what I like also is share your progress daily in groups. And this is really important. People often in their own ecosystem, they don't see any results and they think, oh, that's not working. But if you're part of a list, let's say a Telegram group or WhatsApp group, whatever that is, and they're seeing that there's constant activities, action, some people are constantly moving forward, that creates a sense of belief that will keep them engaged and keep them in the system, in the program a little longer, until they reach something that says, oh, that's worth it. Okay, so very important is share daily progress with you. And the thing is, don't just rely on the person that owns the group to share this, but again, be very respectful. From time to time, I see someone that are posting something out of the blue in a group that is, we call spam, and they're posting something on crypto. Listen, I do crypto, I do all of these things, but there's a place for everything. And this is important, is that you don't spam your group with stuff that are not relevant to Got Backup. Exactly. It's offending, it's annoying, and you'll find that people will leave the group and whatever, and that's okay. And people can leave, but at the end of the day, you want to stay in the context within the ecosystem. If it's something that's motivational, that you feel your team will appreciate, and do that. Also, be careful by posting 15 posts in 1 minute. Yeah. I assure you, people are not going to read these posts. Yeah. It's just going to flip, get to the bottom and see what the last one is. So just be mindful of that too. A little
value each day. Correct. Is perfect.
That's right. A little bit. If you turn around and you hose someone with a fire hose, I assure you that you're not going to help that person. You're going to blast him out of, but just a little bit of water, just a little bit, just for them to taste it and feel it and absorb it. Yeah. So just be mindful of that in your respective groups. Is don't overwhelm your audience with 15 posts in 1 second. Yeah. Just post a little bit and maybe keep them for a later time during the day or later date or something. Keep that.
But you do need that consistency. Every day people need to know what's going on.
That's right. And I know that I should improve a little bit on that on our Telegram group. Lately, I've been posting just events and upcoming events and which is very important. But in between all of that, it's important to add other things. Okay. And if people leave your group because you post, don't worry about it. It's more. They're not qualified to stick around. Yeah. It's all good.
They're already out in their heads. I
couldn't care less. If they leave, they leave. That's fine. They're missing out, and that's totally fine. I'm working with the people that are interested and wanting to work with us. The ones who don't, listen, fine. It's totally cool. Okay. So don't worry about losing members. Focus on the ones that are willing, because the ones that are leaving are not going to do anything anyway. So it's just a waste of time. Okay. And the goal again is to build a visible momentum together. That's the massive goal. I don't know if there's some comments here that are worth.
No,
yeah.
I just want to recognize all of you who are making comments,
Yeah,
because you bring
phenomenal.
so much value. Yeah. So please, engage in the sessions, because it brings value and it solidifies what you're learning, which is really, really amazing. Yes. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah. You see, Bijou, that's just an example here that you're sharing. Yeah, it gets a retaining where there's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. And there's a way also to turn off notification where you don't get a bing every single time. You can turn that off into WhatsApp or Telegram, but you can see that things have been posted. You can choose to watch this on your own leisure. Let's move on here. Okay, so the goal again is to constantly build on the visibility. Okay, and basically step number 6, folks, is duplication is key. The fortune is in the duplication. So we said fortune is in the follow-up, absolutely,
and then
because that's when you make the
that.
sale. But then you don't want to be the only one working
Exactly.
like a horse, right? You want everybody to also contribute. So you want to share the knowledge. You want to transcend the knowledge. That's why Tammy and I are committed to do these trainings. Folks, these trainings don't just get done by itself. We may use ChatGPT to kind of form certain ways and certain forms, but the format and everything else has to be created by a human. And so we do that every single week because we want to pay it forward. We want the team to succeed.
Yeah.
And we know what's coming very soon. We got back up, folks. It's going to change the face of many of you's income. Things may double or even triple, even quadruple if you really understand what is coming. Okay. Lots of great stuff coming in. Don't give up. Stay the course. Okay. And one thing that's important, I talked about the third-party credibility earlier. Teach 3-way messaging, 3-way chat. It's so important. Okay. And again, I just want to go back to this here.
Let me just add one thing to that, because some of you are just focusing on the email marketing, which is great. And some of you even have the VIP package with the Vid Uber. One thing that you can do is create some short video clips of inspiration from one of your leaders. Ask them to do something really short so that you could put that in your email system. That's going to help, for people to make decisions.
Yeah.
And now,
So
they're going to create that excitement.
Here's what I'm pointing out here, folks. That's a third-party credibility. Remember those two? This numbers, folks, I encourage you to increase these numbers. Maybe some of you have done that. That's totally cool. You can copy it. Totally cool. As long as your team are duplicating the follow-up and the third-party credibility. I cannot stress this enough. Let me come back to it.
It's amazing that the numbers are so much lower on the most important part of the business.
So teaching 3-way messaging is so important, right? It's I barely use my cell phone service right now, honestly. In fact, I'm dismissing most calls that are coming because I have so many dumb calls that are coming out of nowhere with nobody. And if you answer now, you're stuck, and then you're going to be receiving these dumb calls all the time. And it's very frustrating. So often I really use the cell phone service. Now everything is database. I build my business on Facebook Messenger or Telegram or WhatsApp. And with WhatsApp, you can create, or Facebook Messenger. I like Facebook Messenger, especially for calls. I find it handles very well. But WhatsApp is also phenomenal. But if you want to do a call with 3 people, 4 people, right, you can really do a great job with that. And again, go to YouTube. You don't need me to teach you. Just go to YouTube. How do I do a 3-way call with WhatsApp? How do I do a 3-way call Telegram? How do I do a 3-way call with Facebook Messenger? 3-way messaging and calls are very important. Okay. And I do that all the time. Very important. Duplicate that. Plug prospect into live events as much as possible. The recorded calls will do the job, but a live event, they may post something in there and I'm responding, or Tammy's responding, or one of you's responding. Right away, the person feels, oh my God, he recognized my post. He saw my name. That creates, again, another stage that you can't get into a video. You know my meaning? Yeah. So encourage them to come to a live event and encourage them to participate if they have any questions. And sometimes we can't answer all the questions because some of them require a lot more time, but we can redirect them into the past trainings that we've done in the past, right? The other one is, and remind them, again, as I'm mentioning, I don't know how many times we talked about it on the call, is the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Speed is in the duplication.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I find really cool? We've been teaching that for years.
Mm-hmm.
In ChatGPT, it does an analysis.
It knows
it
us.
picks up, yeah,
Everything we do.
it picks up. It not just that, but once it's online, it
Yeah,
sees
yeah,
what
yeah.
Eric shares and what a lot of these. We've been sharing these stuff for decades. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. With an S, decades. The fact here is the fortune is in the follow-up, and speed is in the duplication. That line came up with ChatGPT, but where? How does it know that? These are standard knowledge that is passed on for a long time in our business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been
So,
saying that for a long time.
if there's
too.
anything as a takeaway here, is again, the fortune is in the follow-up and speed is in the duplication. You want to grow an organization like Dropbox with 700 million users. I'm not saying you got to get, what I'm saying is to get the bulk, you want to make sure that it's not just you doing the work, but your team is duplicating the work. That's where the key is. So that kind of ends up our session training here today. And folks, the message here is don't get discouraged.
Yeah.
Stay the course. Even though you may feel that nobody's responding to your emails, nobody's responding to your posts, nobody's responding, the one thing they will notice is, wow, that guy is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day you posted something, oh, I hit diamond. Oh, well, no wonder.
Yeah.
He's never stopped.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is you're building credibility with that person, where before they didn't know you from Adam because they came from somewhere online. See, that's why social media and the repetitiveness of duplication, of repeating the process on a regular basis, people respect the fact that you stayed the course, that you haven't given up. I'm telling you, people do notice that. Anything else you want to share as we end?
Yeah. And don't take anything personally. As I mentioned, you got to discipline disappointments. And if you're actively connecting with people, you don't get hung up on the few that are not responding right away. So my message is go get more people. When you feel discouraged, go talk to new people, because that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah. And John, you're right on target here.
Yeah.
All of these AI that's all over the news and everything else, where do you think it gets information from? It comes from us.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening is the online world, it's a huge database, a track record of our history, of our lives, of everything we've done, good and bad, right? So it learns from all that. So it's just an intelligent programming that is searching all this information, and it's basically going through algorithm, which one is relevant to whatever that person's asking. I mean, that's what AI is all about. Of course, things are going to improve with those quantum processor, not to get too technical here. Eventually, it's going to be scary. But the bottom line here, folks, is where does it come from? It comes from us. So it picks up the things that are repetitive, that are associated with people that are successful, and says, well, let me share that. That makes sense. Okay, so folks, listen, thank you so much for your time here today. Again, you got two segments here. You have the one from last week, and you got this one this week, which is a follow-up. And I really suggest that you take advantage of these two modules and you use that to help the duplication within your organization on what to do. Also, in the trainings, both of them, we talked about the Success Cycle series. Now, I know that Tammy and I have created a Success Cycle series. One of them is the VIP boss street we got back up. There's a lot more detailed in there. If you're part of that, you can follow these trainings in there. We have another one that has to do with emotional intelligence, which is also part of that. This is a lot more sophisticated. It took us something like 4 months to put that together, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while, right?
Yeah.
And
a lot of it's on obviously learning,
yeah,
but experience, and that's the key.
Yeah, that's part of the VIP that it's in your back office. I think it's like $10 a month. It's no big deal. It's really, really affordable. And folks, this is the kind of information that we have been teaching for decades.
Oh, yeah.
That has brought us the kind of wealth we have in this kind of business, and has helped just thousands of others over the years. So Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you. And your feedback today was
Yeah, thanks
absolutely
for all your
amazing.
participation.
You guys are great.
Yes.
Participation is so important. You've helped to contribute to this training. So it's not just
Yes.
Tammy and I sharing, but it's the contribution of your comments that will add on to what we share that makes the training even more powerful.
Yeah,
So have yourself a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you on Wednesday in our presentation, and we'll have another guest speaker that's going to be sharing a story right after we're done presenting. So have yourself a great one. And
we
we'll talk
love
to
you
soon.
all. Have a great weekend.
Bye for now.